Welcome my dear learners for this course on operations research. In our module 2 we were discussing about analytical solution for linear programming problems. In our previous lecture, that is in our lecture 1 of module 2, I have given a brief introduction to linear programming problems and also I have solved one problem on simplex method. Let us continue our discussion on solving problems on simplex method. The problem number 2 of our discussion states that solve the following FPP by simplex method where the objective function is minimize z is equal to x2 minus 3x3 plus 2x5 subjected to the constraints 3x2 minus x3 plus 2x5 less than or equal to 7 minus 2x2 plus 4x3 less than or equal to 12 minus 4x2 plus 3x3 plus 8x5 less than or equal to 10 and x2, x3, x5 are all greater than 0. As I explained in our previous lecture, the objective function in simplex method must be always maximization, and also you will be using only slack variables. Keep that in mind. For simplex method we will be using only slack variables. In the sense, the constraints of the given linear programming problems will have LHS less than or equal to RHS always for simplex method. Now coming for the step 1, that is we should represent the given linear programming model in the standard form. So therefore, since the objective function must be maximization, I already explained in our previous lecture how to convert the minimization problem into maximization problem just by multiplying the negative sign on both sides. And also for simplex method we should have only slack variables. If you observe, LHS is less than or equal to RHS for all the 3 constraints what he has been given. So let us solve this problem. Coming for step 1, I want to maximize the objective function. So therefore multiplying negative sign on both sides, maximization, that is minus z will be equal to minus x2 plus 3x3 minus 2x5, where the constraints are now. In order to eliminate the inequalities, I should add slack variables to left hand side of these constraints. Adding the slack variables, I will get 3x2 minus x3 plus 2x5 plus slack variable s1 will be equal to 7. Next we have minus 2x2 plus 4x3. We don't have x5, so therefore let me write it as 0x5. Now since it is less than or equal to, I should add slack variable s2. This will give us equality of linear equation. Next final constraint is 4x2 plus 3x3 plus 8x5 plus slack variable s3 will give us the linear equation which is equal to 10. Now the positive constraint is x2, x3, x5, slack variables s1, s2 and s3 are all positive, that is greater than or equal to 0. And also coming for the first rule for the standard representation of linear programming model, the RHS of these linear equations are all positive. So this is the standard representation of the given linear programming model. Now let us move on. In the step 2, as I said, I should represent these set of linear equations in matrix form. So therefore representing this in matrix form, the variables what we have are x2, x3, x5, s1, s2, s3. So since the objective function does not contain any slack variables, so therefore the objective function will be represented with the slack variables as 0 s1 plus 0 s2 plus 0 s3. Kindly make a note. So now the variables are x2, x3, x5, s1, s2, s3, s1, s2 and s3. Now writing the linear equations, what I have, coming for the first equation, the quotient of x2 is 3, coefficient of x3 is minus 1, x5 is plus 2 and s1 is 1, we don't have s2 and s3. Coming for second equation, coefficient of x2 is minus 2, coefficient of x3 is 4, coefficient of x5 is 0, coefficient of s1 is 0, s2 is 1, we don't have s3. Coming for the last linear equation, minus 4, 3, 8, 0, 0, 1. Now this is equal to, the RHS of the linear equation is 7, 12, 10. So this completes the matrix representation of the obtained set of linear equations. Let us consider the simplex table. In our iteration 1, I will get the simplex table as iteration number 1, formulating the simplex table. We have basic variable, and CB, XB. Now the variables are x2, x3, x5, x2, x3, x5, s1, s2, s3, s1, s2, s3, and I should calculate minimum ratio of xb by xk, that is the column corresponding to most negative value, and finally we have row operation. So the first row is open. Now the basic variables are nothing but the slack variables only. In the first iteration, the slack variables are s1, s2 and s3. So in the first step we don't have the required variables values, that is x2, x3 and x5. So therefore treating them as zeros. CB is nothing but the coefficient of s1, s2, s3 in the objective function. The coefficients of s1, s2, s3 are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. We already know that, I have explained in our lecture 1, xp is nothing but the RHS of these linear equations 7, 12 and 10. That is 7, 12 and 10. Now I should write C I above xp, thereby represent the coefficient of the variables what I have from x2 to s3 in our objective function. So in our objective function maximization, we have the coefficients of x2, x3, x5, s1, s2, s3 as minus 1, 3, minus 2, 0, 0, 0. So therefore entering their respective values, coefficient of x2 is minus 1, x3 is plus 3, x5 is minus 2, s1, s2, s3 are all having the coefficients as 0, 0, 0. Now completing the table, we know that z, let us take it as z prime because we have minus of z is equal to summation of CB XB. So therefore z prime will become 0 into 7 is 0, 0 into 12 is 0, 0 into 10 is 0, adding 0 plus 0 plus 0 will give us 0. Next, from x3 to x2 to s3, we have already the matrix formulated with us. So pick it and place it from x2 to s3. So if I do that, for the first row we have 3 minus 1 2 1 0 and 0. Coming for second row we have minus 2 4 0 0 1 0, and coming for third row we have minus 4 3 8 0 0 and 1. So these are already formatted by representing the set of linear equations in its matrix form. Now from x2 to s3, in the row of z, I should write the value of delta I. So delta I is given by Zi minus Ci. Now if I demonstrate for one column, let us say I want delta 1. So Zi is already known to us, that is summation of Cb xi minus Ci. Here I should use it as first column, that is nothing but column of x2. So if I do that, 0 into 3, I will get 0 into 3 plus 0 into minus 2 plus 0 into minus 4 minus Ci for x2 column is minus 1. So I have minus 1. So this gives us 0 plus 1, which is nothing but 1. So similarly, if I do for x3 column, 0 into minus 1 plus 0 into 4 plus 0 into 3 will give us 0. Minus Ci is 3, so therefore I will get minus 3. As I explained in our previous lecture, always for simplex method, in the first iteration Cb will be 0. Hence Zi will be 0. So therefore directly you can write it as delta is equal to minus Ci. So if we know the value of Ci, change their sign and enter it for simplex method only. So instead of calculating for everything, since Cb is 0, so therefore Zi is always 0. So therefore delta is equal to minus Ci. So minus 1 into minus is plus 1. 3 into minus 1 is minus 3. Minus 2 will become plus 2. 0, 0 and 0. So I multiplied minus and I have entered. This completes the columns from Cb to S3. Now we already know that most negative value of delta I will give us the incoming vector. We know that most negative delta I gives us the incoming vector. Here the most negative of delta I is minus 3. We have only one negative. So therefore x3 will enter the basic variable. So now freezing the column x3, now xp by xk will become xb by x3. So calculating the values, 7 by minus 1 will become negative. Don't write anything because we should not consider the negative values. If we have negative values, it means that the solution is unbounded. Next, coming for 12 by 4, I get the value as 3. coming for 10 by 3, I'll get the value as 3.33. So therefore minimum of 3 and 3.33 is 3. So therefore freezing the element, so 4 will become the key element for us. So this is the minimum value among 3 and 3.33. So therefore the row corresponding to minimum value tells us S2 is the leaving vector, that is minimum ratio of xb by xk gives us the outgoing vector. Thereby we have concluded that x3 will enter the basic variable and s2 will move out of the basic variables. Next, moving for iteration number 2. For iteration 2 we have coming for the basic variables, s1 is unaltered, s2 is moving out and x3 is replacing it. So we will be having x3 coming in and s3 is unaltered. So the missing variables among the 6 are x2 is missing, then x3 we have, x5 is missing and s2. Treat them as 0. Now coming for CB, that is coefficient of these variables, coefficient of S1 is 0, x3 is plus 3, s3 is also 0. So therefore coming for the coefficients of these variables, we have CB values, coefficient of S1 is 0, x3 we have coefficient as 3 and s3 coefficient is 0. Now from xb to s3 I should do row operations and also I should find out the value of z prime, which is nothing but minus of z, by performing the row operations. Let us perform the row operations. Now we have the key element is 4, it is corresponding to row 2. I already said that in our lecture 1 the key element should be always unity. So therefore to make this key element as unity I should divide row 2 completely by 4. So therefore new row 2 for us will become row 2 prime or row 2 dash is equal to previous value of row 2 divided by 4. So from xp to s3, if I divide it by 4, 12 by 4 is 3, minus 2 by 4 is minus 1 by 2, 4 by 4 is 1, that is what I require. The key element has become 1 now. 0 by 4 is 0, 0 by 4 is 0, 1 by 4 and 0 by 4 is 0. Now above and below the key elements we should have zeros. So therefore here I have minus 1, I should make it 0 using the new row 2 what I got. So therefore the new row 1 will be equal to row 1 dash will be equal to old row 1. We have minus 1, so therefore I should eliminate it with plus 1. Here I have 1, minus 1 plus 1 will become 0. So you just add R2 of new row, that is R2 dash. So therefore this will become 0. Now performing the operation from xb to s3, 7 plus 3 will become 10 Next 3 minus 1 by 2 will become 3 minus 1 by 2 will become 5 by 2. 6 minus 1 is 5 by 2. Next we have 0, that is what I require. Next 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 by 4 is 1 by 4. 0 plus 0 is 0. Now coming for row 3, below the key element we have 3. I should make it as 0. So therefore new R3, that is R3 dash, will be equal to old R3. I have plus 3. So therefore I should do it as minus 3 times new R2. So if I do it from XB to S3, we have 10 minus 3 into 3, that is 10 minus 9 will gives us the value as 1. Next we have minus 4 minus 3 into 1 by 2, that is plus 3 by 2. Minus 4 plus 3 by 2 will become minus 8 plus 3 by 2. Minus 8 plus 3 is minus 5 by 2. Next we have 3 minus 3 will become 0, that is what I require. Next we have 8 minus 3 into 0 will become 8. Next we have 0 minus 0 will become 0. Next we have 0 minus 3 by 4 will become minus 3 by 4. We have 1 minus 0, I will get it as 1. Next, coming over the row 4, we have minus 3, I should make it as 0. So therefore row 4 prime will be equal to original row 4, we have minus 3, so that would become plus 3 times R2 prime, that is R2 dash, using which I should make the elements above and below the key elements as zeros. Now here I have 0 plus 3 times R2 prime. So 3 times R2 prime is 3 3s are 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. Next I have 1 plus 3 of minus 1 by 2. I'll get 1 minus 3 by 2. So 1 minus 3 by 2 is minus 1 by 2. Here I have minus 3 plus 3 into 1 will become 0, that is what I require. Here I have minus 2 plus 0 will become plus 2. Here I have 0 plus 3 times 0 will become 0. Here I have 0 plus 3 by 4 will be 3 by 4. Here I have 0. Here also I have 0, so therefore it will become 0. So this completes the operation for the matrix from XB to S3, wherein which we have delta I calculated by Zi minus Ci. No need to calculate because we have performed the row operations. Now we know that most negative delta I gives us the incoming vector. So we have only one negative value of delta I, that is minus 1 by 2. So which means that x2 will be the incoming vector. Now calculating the minimum ratio of xp by xk, which will become xp by x2. So therefore if I calculate here, it will be 10 divided by 5 by 2, which yields us 20 by 5, which is nothing but 4. Here I have 3 divided by minus 1 by 2. No need to calculate because this is negative value. Here also we have 1 divided by minus 5 by 2. No need to calculate because this is negative value, negative values are not considered. So therefore, coming for the minimum ratio of xp by xk, we have only 4 because these two are negative values should not be considered. So therefore, row 1 will be the outgoing row. So row 1 be the outgoing row and S1 is moving out and X2 is entering the matrix. So if I take the key element, 5 by 2 will be the key element. Now in the next step I should make row 1 as a reference and making key element value as unity. I should perform row operations and I should continue till I get delta I values as greater than or equal to 0. So once the delta I values are positive, the problem terminates. So moving for iteration number 3, we have the basic variables. S1 is moving out, X2 is coming in. So we have X2 and X3 is unaltered. And we have S3 which is also unaltered. Now coming for X5 is not yet entered the matrix and S1 and S2 are not present in the basic variables. So treat them as all equal to 0. Now again constructing the table for iteration 3. Now coming for CB, that is coefficient of x2. x2 coefficient is -1, x3 coefficient is +3 and s3 coefficient is 0 in the objective function. -1, +3 and 0. Now from xb to s3 I should perform row operations. Before that I should fix the key row. Key row for us is row 1 and key element is 5 by 2. First I should make it as unity. So therefore row 1 double dash is equal to row 1 dash, that is previous iteration row 1 divided by 5 by 2. Thereby I can make the key element as unity. So therefore 10 divided by 5 by 2 will become 4. Next we have 0 by 5 by 2 is 0, 2 by 5 by 2 is 4 by 5, 1 by 5 by 2 is 2 by 5, 1 by 4 divided by 5 by 2 will be 2 by 20 which is 1 by 10, 0 by anything is 0. So this completes the key row with key element as unity for us. Now using this I should make the values of the elements present below the key element as zeros. So here I have -1 by 2, I should make it as 0. So therefore row 2 double dash will become row 2 dash plus 1 by 2 row 1 double dash. Similarly here I have -5 by 2, so therefore row 3 double dash is equal to row 3 dash plus 5 by 2 row 1 double dash. Here I have -1 by 2, so therefore row 4 double dash is equal to row 4 dash plus 1 by 2 row 1 double dash. So using this key row I should make these elements as zeros. So using which I will get the element values as 0. Now performing the operations, we have 3 plus 4 by 2. 3 plus 4 by 2 will become 3 plus 2 which is 5. We have 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 4 by 5 into 1 by 2. So it is 2 by 5. 0 plus 1 by 5 is 1 by 5. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 20. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 20 will yields us 3 by 10. Now moving for next term, we have 0, here also we have 0, therefore we will get the value as 0. Next, moving for row 3, we have 1 plus 5 by 2 into 4. So 1 plus 5 by 2 into 4 will become 2, 5 2s are 10. 1 plus 10 will become 11. So next we have here also we have 0, here also we have 0, it will become 0. So next we have 8 and here we have 4 by 5. So therefore 8 plus 5 by 2 into 4 by 5. 8 plus 5 by 2 into 4 by 5 will gives us the value as 8. So calculating here we have 8 plus 5 by 2 into 4 by 5 which is equal to 10. Here we have 0, 2 by 5 into 5 by 2 will get cancelled, it will become 1. So we will be getting 1. So we have minus 3 by 4 minus 3 by 4 plus 5 by 2 into 1 by 10 minus 1 by 2. Here we have 1, here we have 0, therefore it will become 1. Now moving for the last fourth row, we have 9 here, so therefore 9 plus 1 by 2 into 4 which gives us the value as 11. So therefore z prime is equal to 11. Here we have done such a way that we will get the 0 below the key element. Next here we have 0, here also we have 0, so therefore I will get it as 0. So here we have 2, so 2 plus 1 by 2 into 4 by 5 which gives us the value as 12 by 5. Here we have 0, here we have 2 by 5, so therefore 0 plus 1 by 2 into 2 by 5. I will get the value as 1 by 5. And here we have 3 by 4, here we have 1 by 10, so therefore 3 by 4 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 10 which gives us the value as 4 by 5. And finally we have 0 here, here also 0, so therefore I will get the value as 0. Now if you clearly observe, for delta j all the values are greater than or equal to 0 or positive. Since delta I values are all positive, the problem terminates. So therefore, since all values of delta I are greater than or equal to 0, that is positive, problem terminates. So you can verify, we have minus 1 into 4 is minus 4 plus 5 into 3 is 15, which is equal to 11. So from the formula that z prime is equal to summation of CB XP also, we are getting the answer as 11. So therefore calculation is correct. Hence the solution for the problem is x2 is equal to 4. Therefore the solution is x2 is equal to 4, x3 is equal to 5, and also we should calculate xy. So xy not entered the table, so xy is equal to 0. And finally we got the value of z dash as 11, but we want the value of z. So we know that z dash is equal to minus z. So therefore z is equal to minus of z dash. So the answer is z minimum is equal to minus 11. If I substitute 4 and 5 in this equation also, I will get the same answer, that is 4 minus 15, which is equal to minus 11. So the answer is minus 11. So this is the complete solution for the given problem. So far we have discussed the problems on simplex method. This completes our discussions on simplex method. From next class we will be heading to discuss the problems on big game method or penalty approach. That's all from this lecture. Thank you.